now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G.
All right. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to the Truth G, WPLBM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham. You know me as G. Once again, we are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is well with everybody. Hope all is well. It is Monday. We are back on the grind after a somewhat of a wet weekend in Northwest Florida. The whole weekend looks like we got rain on every day, Saturday and Sunday. And put a damper on a few things, especially some of the events that I was going to attend on the weekend. But you know, things happen. You can't fight Mother Nature. When it happens, it happens. But I hope you had a good weekend. Hope you got out and did some things. Hope you did some positive things. Hope you got yourself ready for this, getting yourself ready for this upcoming election. We'll be talking about that here in just a moment. But first, let me thank my listening audience. I want to thank you so very much for tuning in, as you always do every Monday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. I want to thank my listening audience. I want to thank my ride or dies for being with me on a regular. I have some regulars that's with me just about every single broadcast. They are riding with me, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate those people. I also appreciate the ones who are first timers, and the ones that pop in every now and then. I appreciate if you've seen my show, if you've seen it on Facebook, hit play on one of the old posts or whatever the case may be. I appreciate it. I thank you so very much because I do this show for you. It's not for me. It's not for me. I do it for you because I want to educate and uplift. Inform, educate, and uplift is the goal of this show. Coming up on July 30th, just in a few days, actually next week. Coming up July 30th, I'll be celebrating 4 years. 4 years doing the show. I don't know what's going on with my hat and my glasses. Seem like I'm crooked. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, July 30th, I'll be celebrating 4 years on the air here at WPMM Radio. And I tell you, these 4 years have kind of flown by. It's hard to believe that it's been 4 years already. But I started the show because I felt like we were being shorted. You know, I felt like we were being robbed of pertinent information. I felt like we were being lied to too often. I felt like people that were talking to the people that had the information that you need to know wasn't being forthright and forthcoming, and then the people that's interviewing them were not holding their feet to the fire and making them answer questions. And you know, that still reigns to this day, where you know, you see these media personalities where they interview these people and they just let them say anything, knowing that 90% of it is lies. And you know, I don't understand that there's no pushback in mainstream media like it should be. So that's why we started this show. 4 years, it'd be July 30th, it'd be 4 years. And thank you so very much for your support, everybody that has listened. And I tell you, I have people that have came up to me and said they listen to the show, and these are people that I never would have thought listened to the show. And not just listen to the show, but people that I never thought would even remotely agree with what I say. But the thing is, even if you don't agree with what I say, it doesn't make it any different than the truth. So everybody don't like the truth. Everybody don't want to tell the truth. But that's why I have made it a point these last 4 years to give you the truth, regardless if it's what you want to hear or what you don't want to hear. I made it a point to give you the truth, and that's hence the name of the show, The Truth with G, because that's the only way I know how to do it. And I would be doing you an injustice if I did anything different. So July 30th is the date of the show, of the anniversary. Nancy Pugh is on Facebook. She said I listen to the show all the time. Miss Nancy, I certainly appreciate you. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. I promise you I do. Um, just spread the word. That's all I ask. Just tell somebody, hey, tune in on 6 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. Well, I hate to say Thursdays because Thursdays is so rough for me. Sometimes I can get on, sometimes I can't. And with the new schedule change and job change and this, that, and other, I can't always get on Thursday, but I definitely try. But every Monday, 6 o'clock, check me out, Miss Pugh. I really do. I really, really do appreciate you. So, like I said, I got some ride or dies that ride with me every week, and I wouldn't be here without you guys. I promise you, I wouldn't be here. It wouldn't be no reason for me to sit here if nobody was listening. And as long as I got one or two, what they say about the Bible, if there's one or two gathered around my show, what I say may resonate with somebody, and that's what I'm hoping for. But anyway, we're WPMM Internet Radio. We are on in all your streaming apparatuses, if you will. Get us on any mobile device, anywhere you can pick up an internet connection. You can get WPMM. We play the best in R&B, neo soul, jazz, hip hop, old school music. WPMMradio.com is the website to go to listen to the show. Also, you can download the app. It's a free app, WPMM Radio. You can download the app. It's a free app as well. You can put it on any phone, pad, tablet, computer, and you can take us anywhere that has a internet connection. We're also live on Facebook, on YouTube. You should check us out. Make sure you check out. The views and opinions expressed by individual radio hosts and guests are of their own and does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to align with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. I have to read that in case somebody tries to sue me for telling the truth. Can't sue me for telling the truth. Now, if I make up something about you, which that ain't what we do over here, then that's one thing. But you can't sue me over telling the truth about you. So, but anyway, on today's show, we are talking about the upcoming election. The upcoming election over the weekend on Sunday, yesterday, matter of fact, the big news dropped. Miss Charlene is listening. Miss Charlene, how you doing, Miss Charlene? Good to see you on here. I see you. You're trying to hide from it, but I got you. I got you, Miss Charlene. I appreciate you listening. But anyway, over the weekend, it is it dropped yesterday at about 1:45 Eastern time yesterday, where Joe Biden had put out in a statement that he was not going to seek re-election in the 2024 election coming up in November. He was going to step aside. And once that news hit, it's like the airways exploded. Everybody was scrambling, trying to get on to talk about it. I actually was going to come on yesterday and talk about it, but I did not have an opportunity. I did not have time. By the time I would have got on, it would have been at like 9, 10 o'clock last night. So I waited till today. To come on, my regularly scheduled time to talk about it. But again, Joe Biden has announced that he is not seeking re-election in the 2024 election. So, with that being said, I kind of, I was, if he had stayed in, I'd still rooted for him. I still endorsed him. I would have still told you guys that we need to vote for Joe Biden, regardless of how old he is, or how fragile he is, or how slow he talks, or his stutter, or whatever case, because the alternative is Trump. The alternative is Trump in 2020, Project 2025. And I promise you guys, you don't want either one. I know we got some, I'm going to try not to call people idiots today, but it's going to be extremely difficult for me not to. Let me go ahead and get one out the way so I can get it out of my system because it's urgent. It's trying to bubble up in me. But obviously, we got some idiots out there that's going to vote for this pedophile and this rapist and this fraudster and this felon, and they think that he's the best thing since sliced bread, which I don't understand the philosophy, if you will. But that's the alternative. So Joe Biden, it wouldn't have mattered what his age was. It would not have mattered if he was even conscious. Joe Biden could have been in a coma, on a breathing tube, brain dead, and being fed through a feeding tube. I would have still voted for Joe Biden because the alternative is Donald Trump. And I wouldn't just be voting for Joe Biden because he is a Democrat. I've been voting for him because his platform and his agenda right now, and nothing's perfect. There's some flaws. There's many flaws. But his platform, his agenda tends to lean more toward helping the middle and lower class, helping the elderly, helping the people that are fighting diabetes by capping the insulin prices at $35 is the most you'll pay for your insulin every month. By making sure that Medicare, Social Security stays in place for our old people that are relying on Medicaid and Medicare and also Social Security. The Inflation Act, he passed that. The infrastructure bill got passed. The stock market is hitting record highs. Unemployment is hitting record lows. The inflation is not due to government, contrary to what you may hear. It has nothing to do with government at this point in time. These corporations are recording record profits. They're recording record profits. But they're not passing on those profits to the consumer. They're basically screwing the consumer because they know that the demand for their product is there. So therefore they can hike up the prices and then let the government take the blame for it. But that's not the case. The government don't control prices in a capitalistic society, if you will. The CEOs of these major corporations control the prices. And right now they're being greedy. They're recording record profits, which means that people are buying their product. People are spending money with them. The CEOs are taking, millions and billions of dollars in bonuses, and they're not willing to pass on the savings, or they pass on the profit sharing, if you will, to the consumer in the avenues of lower prices at the markets, lower prices at the gas pumps. We see our gas fluctuating. Here in Northwest Florida, gas can fluctuate. One day it can be as low as $2.79, and the next day it can be as high as $3.49. It just depends. And people think that Joe Biden has control over that. Joe Biden has no control over that. The CEOs of Exxon and Mobil One and Chevron, and those CEOs have control of those prices. So if you look at the totality of the last 3.5 years, going on 4 years that Joe Biden has been in office, all the numbers are getting better. The crime rate has come down in spite of what the dumbass on the right, the dumb asses, if you will, on the right is saying. The crime rate has been dropping. It hadn't made didn't go off a cliff, but it's on a downward slope as far as crime. However, when it comes to crime, I'm still trying to understand how the president of the United States can control crime. You can put more officers on the streets. You can allocate funds to hire additional officers, pay officers overtime, this, that, and other. But you cannot uh, keep a idiot from committing a crime. Can't keep a criminal from committing a crime. If someone is steadfast on committing a crime, regardless of the police presence, regardless of what's going on, they're going to commit that crime. We've seen that last weekend, not this past weekend, but the prior weekend. We've seen that at the rally where the orange idiot, uh, you know, almost got his brains blew out. They had everybody in place: Secret Service, FBI, local law enforcement. Everybody was in place to make that particular venue and that particular event safe. And as you can see, security can be breached. If somebody is determined to commit a crime, they're going to commit that crime. So the president of the United States cannot stop people from committing crime, no matter how many people are surrounded. You don't get any higher than Secret Service when it comes to security. Secret Service, FBI. You don't get any higher than that. And there was that young person was still able to infiltrate and still able to get in position to fire off shots at the orange idiot. No, I'm not going to call him Trump all the time because he's an orange idiot and I have no sympathy. Not wishing anything bad on anybody, but I have no sympathy. Especially when you have a situation where this idiot was inches away from losing his life and other people at the rally suffered a greater demise than what he did. He just suffered a graze on his ear. There was another person, another young man, not a young man, but I think he's 50, 51 years old, that died at the hands of that gunman. There were two other people that were hit and were hospitalized at the hands of that gunman. And this orange idiot, this dumbass, this insensitive asshole, and I can go on with the adjectives and superlatives and whatnot in describing this piece of crap. But instead of being concerned about the people or the person that died or the people that's injured, what does he do the next morning? He gets up and he goes golfing. Keep in mind, he didn't have that maxi pad on his ear the next day when he went golfing. But when he showed up at the convention, he had the maxi pad on his ear. But anyway, he got up the next day and went golfing and basically said, I'm okay. I don't give a fuck about nobody else, and went on about his business. In the meantime, our current president called the families of the victims and expressed his condolences and his concerns and his issues and whatnot, and offered them not just thoughts and prayers, but things they may need in the coming weeks and months, if you will. So what Biden did was presidential. What Trump did was a narcissist, being a narcissist and being an asshole and being insensitive and being selfish. But some dumbass people out there are going to vote for this kind of person. And anybody that's willing to vote for this person is just as terrible as he is. And I tell it to your face. I'm still trying to get somebody who is willing to vote for Trump to talk to me. So if you're out there, if you're out there listening, and you're planning to vote for Trump, I want to talk to you. I promise you I do. So hit me up. You can email me thetruthwithg@yahoo.com, or you can inbox me on my Facebook, and we'll get together. So, but anyway, Joe Biden is dropping out the race. He is dropping out the race, and I called it way before. I called it when he got elected the first time. I said then that he would not do 2 terms. As soon as he won the elections, as soon as they announced him president of the United States, I said he will only do one term because at that time he was 77 years old or something like that. If my math is correct, I went to public school, so y'all bear with me. Um, and I called it at that time. I said he would not do 2 terms. However, what I thought was going to happen is that he was going to serve his first term. He would win re-election in his second term, and then bow out. What I mean by bow out is resign once he won the election. Resign and basically hand the office of the president over to the vice president, which was um, Kamala Harris. That was my prediction. However, due to the circumstances, due to the, I'm not going to sit here and play like there was not a decline in his health, in his ability to move, in his ability to speak fast, walk fast. He's an 81-year man in decline. He's not getting any younger. He will not find the fountain of youth in reverse. This is not Cocoon. This is not, a movie where people get older and start moving faster. It doesn't happen that way, especially when you're up in the late 70s, early 80s. So I saw his decline. Even though I saw his decline, I knew that his mental capability was still there as far as knowing foreign policy, knowing processes within the political world, knowing how to resolve issues, things of that nature. That his cognitive abilities were still there. It just took him extra couple of seconds to get there, but it was still there. He still had the knowledge. Now you look at somebody like Trump, he's a complete fucking idiot. He's one of the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life. Um, if you know, if you inherit 500 some odd $1 million, um, and turn around and file bankruptcy 4 times, you're not a very smart individual or not a very good business person. But anyway, I digress. But what we have with Biden bowing out the race, we have Kamala Harris, who he has endorsed to be the Democratic nominee for the office of President of the United States. That means that Kamala Harris has the potential to become the first woman and definitely the first black woman to become the first, becoming the President of the United States. She already made history by becoming the first woman to be Vice President of the United States. So now she's in position. It seems that the Democratic Party has had spawned new life. After yesterday's announcement that Biden is dropping out, the excitement started. It particularly blew up today, starting this morning, because there were numbers of people that was coming out that were endorsing Kamala Harris. My bad. I just seen a post. I just seen something that says, and I digress. I hate to get off topic, but I just seen somewhere it says, you really want to make MAGA panic? Kamala Harris should make Jack Smith Attorney General. That's funny. That's funny, and that should be the case. But anyway, let's get back to it. Kamala Harris could become the first black female president and the first female president as a whole. So the Democratic Party has been energized. The enthusiasm has gone through the roof in the last 24 hours, 36 hours, if you will. They're coming together. There was quite a bit of infighting going on when People were saying if Joe Biden should stay in or go out. There was a lot of infighting going on, and that infighting has somewhat stopped. I haven't seen anyone. I haven't seen anyone yet that has turned their backs on Kamala Harris as far as the Democratic Party. And I'm sure we'll have a couple of defectors. You know, it's common. You may have somebody that want to throw their head in the ring, but right now, with the momentum that Kamala Harris has, even if somebody does try to throw their head in the ring, I don't think they're going to pick up as much steam and pick up as many endorsements as Kamala Harris have already. Now, the first thing you're going to say, especially us people, is why have Barack Obama not endorsed Kamala Harris? It's politics. What has to happen is this thing has to play out before, which is a good thing. Before, uh, if you recall, 6 years ago, when Biden first entered into the election, the 2020 election, there was a waiting period where Barack Obama waited before he put any endorsements toward, even though Biden was his vice president, he waited because the reason why he waited is because he wanted the constituents, if you will, to first show the enthusiasm and show the support behind Joe Biden and not be influenced at that particular time by what he was doing. So he's basically allowing the same thing to happen with Kamala Harris. Is he going to come out and endorse Kamala? 100%. You have my word on that. 100% he's going to come out and endorse. But he's not going to do it yet. He's going to let it play out. He's going to let the current politicians place their endorsements, give their comments and what have you, and then he will come along. And I'm sure, I'm 100% positive him and Michelle will be on the campaign trail campaigning for Kamala. I think that's a deadly combination for the Republicans with Kamala and Michelle Obama at the same campaign event in whatever city that they may go to. That would be a awesome combination to put, particularly for our women. Now, with the women, if you're a woman and you are planning to vote for Trump, first, with all due respect, because I don't like talking negative about women, but if you're a woman and you're planning to vote for Trump, there's a strong, strong indication that you may be an idiot. A very strong indication. But at the same time, you could just be naive. You could be ill-informed. I hate to use the word stupid. I said at the beginning of the show I wasn't going to use the word stupid. So I digress from that particular word. But if you're planning to vote for Trump, you just may be an idiot. Because the MAGA party, because it's no longer the Republican Party, it's the MAGA party. The MAGA party is destined to take all of your rights away. As a woman, they are destined to take all your rights away. Now, if you are that stupid and you don't want any rights, then yeah, vote for the orange idiot. If you don't want any rights, you don't want any say so over your body, what you can and can't do with your own body, what kind of concepts you can take and cannot take to prevent yourself from being in situations, what have you, whatever. If you want that, vote for the orange idiot. Be a dumbass and vote for him. But if you have any self-respect about yourself, if you value yourself, if you think that your body is a temple and you should be able to treat it as if however you want to treat it, then you need to vote blue down the ticket. So, but with Kamala Harris being the presumptive, she is not the nominee as it stands right now. She is just right now, based on how everything is going, she's presumptive. There's nobody else that has thrown their name in the ring. However, there's still a process that has to take place. There has to be delegates that are um, that process takes place at the Democratic Convention. In order to get the nomination, you need 1,976 delegates uh, to, to, to get where you need to be. More than likely, she is already on the path to secure that and to go far over the top, if you will. Because all of the delegates were that Joe Biden had, he already had over 3,000 some odd delegates. Um, the odds are that all those delegates will go to Kamala Harris. Now, again, you will have some defectors. I'm waiting to see who those are. You will have some defectors. But all indications as it stands right now, when it comes to the convention, which is going to take place in a week or so, I think 1,976 is the number that is needed to secure the nomination for the Democratic Party. And I think she'll get that easily. As of earlier today, there's already 10 states that have already met and voted, and their delegates are going to Harris. So 10 states already sealed the deal when it comes to delegates. All they have to do is announce them at the convention. So we're well on our way for Kamala Harris to become the nominee. We haven't had a black woman as a nominee, let alone a president. People think back to Shirley Chisholm back in the day, who ran for president, and she ran as an independent, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but we have not had a black female nominee for whether it be Republicans or Democrats. We have had a woman to be the nominee in Hillary Clinton back in the 2016 election. And she was basically screwed out of the office of the president because of the electoral college, which is the bullshit. We'll talk about that in another show, but the electoral college is a unfair practice, if you will. It came about in the age of slavery because of population in the South. That's why the electoral college came to kind of level it out to give the southern states a fair shake at deciding who would be president, because the numbers in the South, they're in a lot of parts there was more slaves than there were white people. So the number of people that had the right to vote was smaller than other places that did not have the large slave populations. Therefore, the electoral college came about this dumbass way that they came up to elect the president. I've never seen a situation, and only in America, never seen a situation where you can lose. You can lose the popular vote by 3 million plus votes, almost 4 million votes. You can lose the popular vote and win the election. That makes no sense at all. That's just like playing a basketball game and you score 110 points and your opponent scores 30 points, but this team that scores 30 points still win the game. Makes no sense. But anyway, I'm getting off slightly here. But yeah, once the Democratic convention take place, the delegates will be named. They will stand up individually and announce their decisions and their vote in regards to where their delegates are going. And like I say, there's no indication to think that it's going any other way other than um, those delegates are going to Kamala Harris. And y'all forgive me, y'all. I'm I'm doing 2 or 3 things at one time. So if I pause, that means I'm multitasking. I just can't do it all at one time. But anyway, but that's we have Harris, the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party, and then we have the pedophile, the narcissist, the rapist, the fraudster, the convicted felon, um, and I'm sure he probably got a body on him somewhere. But the decision should be a no-brainer. And for all you people, all my people out there, that's that's taking the Hillary Clinton approach toward Kamala Harris, stop the dumb shit. Just stop, please. We are in this situation today. We are facing Project 2025 is because people were ill-informed over Hillary Clinton. I got so tired of hearing, I don't like her. You don't know her. You don't know her personally to like her. But had you took time to look at her policy position, had you taken time to look at her track record, had you taken time to look at her accomplishments, have you had taken time to look at her education, prior education, um, it don't matter if you liked her or not. You can't. You don't know her. It's not like y'all was friends and y'all fell out. You didn't know her, but you're quick to say you didn't like her, and you saying you didn't like her because somebody else said they didn't like her. But Hillary Clinton never did anything uh, facetious or against anybody to be disliked. It's just that once that little dumbass rumor started, and the with the Benghazi situation, especially Benghazi. If you don't know what Benghazi is, look it up. But that situation, they blamed on Hillary Clinton when there was 4 soldiers that died in the Benghazi attack. Um, but what people don't know in the Benghazi attack, and they held it against uh, Hillary Clinton at the time, which was Secretary of State. They held it against her, but people don't know that she went to a Republican Congress and asked for additional security for Benghazi and got turned down. She went to a Republican government, or they had the majority at the time. She went to ask for additional security for the embassy there in Benghazi. And the Republicans are the ones that turned down that request, that did not provide additional security for Benghazi. And then when Benghazi got attacked, and those four soldiers died in that attack, then they want to blame Hillary Clinton. When Clinton did what she was supposed to do in requesting additional security, but was turned down by the Republicans. That's what the you're not being told. They kind of glaze over that, even with mainstream media that I listen to, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, what have you. Even they kind of glossed over that fact. They told it, but they didn't push it enough to where people wouldn't believe the lies that were coming from the right. But anyway, you said you didn't like her, and that's why you wasn't voting for her. So that's why we end up losing in the Electoral College. We end up losing in Electoral College, and we're now in the situation that we're in, what we're facing, putting a pedophile back in office. And we're facing Project 2025, which will put us all back in the days of Jim Crow. Now, it should be a no-brainer. Like I said, it's a no fucking brainer as far as who you should be voting for. To be honest with you, I don't care who would be on the Democratic ticket. It shouldn't matter as long as they're not going to push the agenda of Project 2025, as long as they're not going to push the agenda of nationwide abortion bans. And with that abortion bans come Planned Parenthood. With that abortion ban come contraceptive use and availability. Uh, with that, it comes daycare, being able to afford daycare. All that is tied up into this vote. Should be a no-brainer. If you are still out there and you scratching your head and say, should I vote for Kamala Harris or should I vote for Trump? If you're still on the fence, you're an idiot. Damn, you just try not to call y'all idiots, but shit, I don't know what else to refer to you as, because these words have to resonate. These words have to resonate, and the harsh words are the only ones that I can think of that fit the situation. But it should be a no-brainer. It should be no thought. I'm sorry. I keep trying to read updates. So y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me if I pause. I can't read and talk. I can't read one thing and say and talk and say something totally different. So y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me. So Kamala Harris will more than likely be the nominee. So we're going to call her the presumptive nominee at this point in time. As you already know, the right has started with the bullshit. You got Mike Johnson, which is the Speaker of the House. He already on some bullshit in regards to trying to fight it in court. They are actually trying to fight in court to keep Kamala off the ballot. The fuck? Legal scholars have already scoffed at that particular scenario, if you will, or that particular move or strategy by the Republican Party. It should not happen. It should not even be a court case. It should not go either way. But we have to look at who we are. We have to look at who we're dealing with. We're dealing with a Republican Supreme Court. So therefore, with that being said, anything can happen because the Supreme Court has made some rulings that are strictly MAGA. There's no legal basis behind them. They are strictly MAGA. So we can never count out the deceitfulness of the Republican Party and what they can pull out their ass to do, whether we think is illegal or not. They have gotten away with a lot of stuff that they should not have gotten away with. And they getting away with it because they have the people in position to make the decision. So what we have to do, and I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm a Democrat, a Republican, or independent, whatever. I'm me. I am simply me. And I will go with whatever is going to benefit me and my family. So whatever that may be, that's what I will go with. If it makes sense, if it's feasible for me and my family, regardless of your political background, affiliation, color, race, creed, sexual preference, or what have you, I'm going to go along with what you are saying because what you're saying is going to benefit me. At this point in time in life, in the political form, there is nothing that can convince me to vote for any Republican for any office anywhere, whether it's local, state, or federal. There's no way possible I will cast a vote for a Republican candidate, period. And the reason for that is because all of them have shown that they are idiots. Now, what we need to do as a people, we need to put our support behind Kamala Harris. She has not named a running mate because she can, she's looking at securing the nomination within the next few days. I would even figure by this weekend, that she will name a candidate for her vice president pick to be on the ticket with her, regardless of who she picked. We have to rally behind her. We have to make her the next president of the United States, because the alternative is Trump and Project 2025. If y'all don't believe that Project 2025 is real, go just look it up. Just Google it. Google is a wonderful thing. Just Google it and read all the bullshit and that is in there. And then all you dumbasses that want to vote for Trump, and he's saying, I don't know anything about it. How the fuck you don't know nothing about it, and your people are the ones that's orchestrating it. Your people are the one that's behind it. Your vice president candidate has a play in a role in it, but you have talked about it, dumbass. Like you, it seems like Trump just don't believe that his words are recorded or on video somewhere. It's like he don't. It's like he don't believe that is out there, which is stupid. Eh? But anyway, I digress. But we got to get behind Kamala Harris. We got to make sure that we are doing what we need to do. People who need to vote, who are registered to vote, you got to get out and vote, people. Voting is so very important. If you don't vote this election cycle, this could ruin your life as you know it. Even if you're not voting for a particular candidate, you need to vote. You need to be selfish and vote for your own well-being. And your own well-being entails not letting the Republican Party take over. If you care anything about your future, your well-being, your children's future, you will not vote for a Republican. If you just don't give a fuck and you just stupid, then you probably considering voting for the orange idiot. So, but I hope my people are smarter than that. I still want to talk to somebody who's out there who may still be contemplating or will cast a vote for Trump. I want to talk to you. Ttwg at yahoo.com is my website. Ttwg Graham. You can inbox me on Facebook. Ttwg Graham Facebook. Ttwg at yahoo.com is my email. Hit me up. I'll get you information. We'll come on and we'll talk about it. You give me your take. I give you my take, and then we'll figure out who take is accurate. And once whoever's take is accurate, and then that person has the right to educate the other one on accuracy and on truth and on facts. And the other one has to sit quietly and be educated and be schooled and listen wisely. But that is the plan, people. I really want to talk to you because I need to know where your mind is. It should be a no-brainer as far as who you're, especially if you look like me, if you're a woman, if you're Hispanic, if you of the LGBTQ community, because all you people that's out there that's in the LGBTQ plus community, um, if you're married, you probably won't stay married. You can be married at heart, but you won't be married on paper. Let these Republicans take over. Your significant other won't get any benefits from you because you won't fall under the realm of a relative. You won't fall up under that umbrella. You'll just be somebody's girlfriend or somebody's boyfriend. But black people, women, Hispanics, LGBTQ community, if you vote for Trump, you might be a fucking idiot. Let me rephrase that. If you vote for Trump, you're a freaking idiot. Period, point blank. So, with that being said, that is the latest news. The latest news is Kamala Harris will more than likely be the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. Joe Biden is dropping out. We have to get behind and rally behind the Democratic Party. I hate that money is involved. It pisses me off every time, money is thrown up to where, it seems that if whoever raises the most money is the one to get elected. It shouldn't be about the money. It shouldn't be about how much you can raise. Um, but that money is supposed to go toward campaign staff. It's supposed to go toward advertisement, this, that, and other. And the last number that I saw, as of yesterday, after like 5 hours after the announcement or the endorsement came from Biden for Kamala Harris, within 5 hours, my understanding is that over $47 million was raised for the Kamala Harris campaign. The number that I saw today was 80 something million dollars had been raised in just a little bit over 24 hours for her campaign. So people are donating. Again, the Democratic Party has been kind of given a new life, if you will. The party seems to be rejuvenated. They seem to be excited about the fact that Kamala Harris will be the presumptive nominee. But we got to get out there and we got to fight fire with fire. I think Kamala, as a prosecutor, she knows how to do it. She's done it in court many a day. Stop holding her days as a prosecutor against her. It was her job to prosecute. That's what prosecutors do. Why people want to fault her for doing her job, I don't know. What if I came and faulted you for your job? For the job that you have? I put that fault on you. What if I told you you shouldn't have been doing your job? You shouldn't have been doing what you were hired to do while you're on your job. If I came to you and said, whatever your job is, I said, stop doing your job. Don't do your job. Go to work every day and get paid, but, see if they're going to pay you. But don't do your job. That's what you're kind of saying to Kamala Harris. She was a prosecutor. Her job was to prosecute. Her job was to prosecute and gather convictions on those who have committed a crime. We know the justice system is fucked up. We know the justice system weighs against black and brown people. We know that. However, we can't sit here and say that everybody that was prosecuted under Kamala Harris did not commit the crime. But the fact of the matter is, they committed the crime. Her job was to prosecute whoever committed the crime. The duty of the judge was to follow the law in regards to whatever that crime was and apply sentence according to the law and to the parameters of what the guidelines were for that particular crime in those particular circumstances. As prosecutors, they can recommend a sentence based on the law, based on the standards of that particular statute or whatever was the conviction came from. They can make recommendations and they can suggest that this sentence, that sentence, another, but it comes down to that judge to make the decision based on the law. So for all the people that went to jail under Kamala Harris, if you was guilty of it, you shouldn't have been doing it. Period, point blank. If you wasn't doing it, then your ass wouldn't have been in the system. You wouldn't have been in position for her office to prosecute you, and then your dumb ass wouldn't be sitting in jail right now. Shouldn't have done it. Now, I know we have that percentage that may be innocent, that did not commit the crime. That's why we have defense lawyers. Again, I know the justice system is screwed and it's weighed heavily against us. I understand that. I know that. It's not a secret. But I guarantee you, the majority of the people that went to jail committed the crime that they were accused of. Now they mad because they got convicted. Now they mad because a woman was leading up the district attorney's office, and they got convicted under a black woman. But that's a small percentage out there that went to jail that did not do anything wrong. But that's just not California. That's across the nation. In every state, we got people sitting in jail right now that did not commit the crime. However, they were prosecuted. There was a prosecutor behind the situation. And I would hope that in Kamala's situation, and I never heard of anything different, of any type of doing anything facetious in regards to prosecuting. I have not heard of a situation where she has fabricated evidence or faked evidence or gotten rid of evidence and whatever in order to prosecute or to convict someone or to put evidence toward a conviction. I've not heard her doing anything nefarious for her to get someone found guilty. Now, if she was being corrupt in what she was doing, then I would understand why people would have something against her. But there's nothing out there to say she did anything corrupt, nothing out there to say she did anything wrong in what she did. Keep in mind, she did gain a seat in the Senate, the United States Senate, in that same state that she was a prosecutor. So that means that people in that state had to vote for her in order for her to gain that position. So if the people in that state that she prosecuted people, the people in that state can vote for her as a state attorney or the district attorney, if you will, or the attorney general, because she was the AG of the state of California. If they can vote her into that office in the same state that she's sending people to jail, then the nation can put her in the White House. Again, the alternative is Trump. Should be a no-brainer. You got to be a fucking idiot to do anything other than to vote for Kamala Harris for president. But that's my time, people. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today to Ttwg right here on WPMM Radio. It's been an hour well spent. It's a no-brainer, people. I still want to talk to somebody who is planning to vote for Trump. If you know somebody, tell them to hit me up. Ttwg@yahoo.com is my email. TTWG Graham is my Facebook tag, if you will. Tell them to hit me up. I definitely put you on. Promise you I will. Promise you I will. So, with that being said, I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to make a desperate attempt to be back on Thursday to talk about the developments of the week. We also need to talk about the Secret Service director that was on Capitol Hill today testifying in regards to the security breach for the Trump attempted assassination. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the local election. We'll talk about Miss. I'm going to have her on the show coming up here at some point. We have not been able to give a date, but Miss Haley Morissette, she is running for State House District 2. Haley Morissette will be on the show coming up here soon. I'm gonna just stay tuned for the date. She is running against Andrade. If you don't know who Alex Andrade is, he is somebody who infiltrated the black community, sold us a pipe dream. He got in office and then he went MAG on us. She's running against that idiot. So we'll be talking to her soon. I'll keep you posted on that date. But Miss Haley Morissette is going to be House Representative, running for House Representative District 2. So it's going to be an uphill battle. We need all hands on deck in order to get her elected, because we know what county we live in. We know what the segment of the population is. So we have to show up in droves. We have to show up in record numbers in order to defeat Andrade. So, but anyway, stay tuned for that. But I will be back on Thursday. I will make a desperate effort to be back on Thursday. So y'all check me out Thursday night, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on WPMM Radio. If I'm not on Thursday, I'll be back on Monday, 6 o'clock, right here on WPMM. But until then, you guys stay safe, stay blessed, and I am out of here.